Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Weekly DLC. I'm one of your hosts, Karosh, joined always by my co-host, Daniel Vargas.
Honey green tea is not it. It's not it.
Not it. And Daniel Jang.
Hot green tea is the shit.
You heard it here. If you're not familiar with what we do, we come to each and every week to podcasting services of your choice with tea of our choice. Black tea, guava, lemonade is also it. And we talk about nerdy stuff. We talk about tea sometimes, and we have some fun. Sometimes we also
Get brought to you by.
get brought to you by sponsors, like this one. This one's brought to you by Sensuality because
It's
Hey.
a fun,
Hey, girl.
fun
Hey.
little thing to say.
it's a fun word. Sensuality. ASMR stream. Sensuality.
Grapefruit?
You guys try it. You guys want to try it?
Actuality.
Sensuality. Sensual seduction.
There you go. Just listen to that clip over and over, and then and type in the word sensual DLC.
Sensuality.
Light up your goop candle.
Sensuality.
This is episode 156. If this is the first time you're coming to us, hopefully we have everything connected. Hopefully we're running the camera right. Hopefully we got all the podcasting equipment working, because sometimes we don't, and sometimes this is our third or fourth take. And I hope you enjoy the ride. So with that, we're gonna jump into the chat. Vargas looks like he wants to say something to the camera. Vargas, how's your
I'm
week
just
been?
like look at myself. I look really good today.
Feeling sensual?
Feeling sensual. Yeah. No, I've been playing Escape from Tarkov, dude. Just nonstop.
Have you escaped yet?
Just I've been escaping. I played I think it was the day before yesterday, on my PMC, which is like your main character. It's the one that like your XP is the one it's saved on. Like everything you do, it accumulates.
Versus what?
There's also a mode called Scav, and it's where you take over an NPC character, and you're allowed to play as the NPC character.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Is it making noise or what?
No, it's good. Yeah. It's just
Keeping an eye on
low.
it.
So I'm like I can hear it, but the bar like
Yeah.
when I start talking it's got louder, so
Gotcha.
but I can still hear you fine.
So, yeah, the scav is you take over an NPC, but everything you do in an NPC doesn't roll over to your character, other than the items, unless if you get out. But your NPC, even if you die, you'll get XP that levels you up, and you have to be a certain level to be a certain reputation with traders that gives you more items to buy, better deals, better pricing, stuff like that. So you have to do all that on your PMC. And I did like 4 raids. It's what like when you do a level it's called a raid.
Okay.
And I did them all successfully. I didn't die. I got out, escaped, and I got all the items that I was able to get.
Damn.
So it was really
Nice.
fun. And now
You're getting good?
So I bought the base game, which starts you with the smallest storage box. If you buy like the Edge from Darkness, which is $150
What?
edition of it, it gives you the max storage, which is insane. It is huge. It's a building size worth of storage you can have, and so you can just like every time you bring stuff, you just put it in there. But I'm limited, so I'm over here playing like Tetris with
Resident Evil
items and
4?
trying to fit things, and like sometimes I'll have to like remove an attachment which lowers the size of the gun so I can fit it somewhere, and then I can put that attachment somewhere else, and later on I'll be like, okay, I gotta remember to put that attachment if I want to use it, and it's so crazy. So I have to like. I can't necessarily keep things for a very long time. I have to eventually get rid of them, or I have to not be afraid to use them and end up losing them if I die in a raid, because if someone takes them, I don't get it back.
Right.
But I have to be okay with that because I don't even have room for
Yeah.
it in the first place. So, but it's a really fun game. I really enjoy it. Can't
Nice.
get enough of it.
Cool.
That's all I've been doing. I mean, anime all the time.
All the time, every time. Jane, what have you been up to?
I've ascended. I've become a god. I became one of the best Bloodborne players in the world by defeating Orphan of Cause.
I feel like Maria was hard. Not Maria. What's
Ludwig?
That guy?
Ludwig?
Yeah, Ludwig.
But I was in save scumming then. I could have beat him on my second day. If I were. But okay, so I mean here's some like incentive for you for Maria. No. For
Lud.
oh shit, I can't think. Orphan and someone else.
You don't have to save.
You don't have to use because you don't have to use items because those items don't really do much against them. So, Lawrence, the next guy I'm fighting. So there's no point in save scumming.
But you eventually need like the vials.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you run out of
that's
vials
true.
and stuff.
Okay, I take that back.
How's the Orphan of Cause experience?
Oh man, like if I were to do it again, like I would be successful maybe 1% of the time. Like I understand his moves.
Yeah.
It's just dodging them. You
That-
gotta be on fucking point. It's like, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like Mike Tyson in Punch Out. Like you have to be. There's a split second decision you have to make with what he's gonna do. Positioning matters, timing matters. He covers so much distance,
Yeah.
and just touching you will kill you. So you're just like I was telling you, there was this one part where he hit me. I was like, and I even said it in the video. I was like, I should have died. I don't know why I'm still alive. I should have died.
Yeah, I
but-
thought you died at that point. I was like, what? What
Yeah.
just happened?
Yeah.
And then
so-
you were like blessed, and you didn't. You kept going.
Yeah, I mean, like, the apprentice has become the teacher. So there used to be a viewer named Scrublord, and godlike Dark Souls player. Godlike, dude. And he told me straight up, he's like, I can't beat Cause, dude. Like, no matter what I do, I cannot beat Cause. And I beat Cause. And I was like, holy shit. Like, I'm better than... Sorry, Scrublord. I've ascended higher than you.
Passed him.
Dude, there's guys that watch my stream that do deathless runs on Dark Souls 1, 2, 3. They're like, I can't beat Cause, dude. I'm like, holy fuck. And I was
Wow.
like, it was a bit of RNGesus and skill.
You were
So-
chosen finally. You had the touch of
Oh.
blessing, and you made it through.
And the only reason why I posted on Reddit is because I don't think people understand how crazy it is to achieve it. If I were to tell coworkers or friends, they'd be like,
Orphan of Cause.
yeah, okay.
Well,
yeah,
I
it's
told
hard."
Michael when I told my coworker, he's like, "What?"
I think if you play that sound, the
He's
they'll
like,
be like,
"Oh, I get it."
Oh,
It's funny because my YouTube trailer channel is me beating Cause normally.
because you thought that was
Full circle.
like an insane
Full
thing.
circle.
And then now that's my trailer channel. Beating Cause, BO4. Let's go.
Is that so? You've put it up on?
Yeah. That's Lawrence is next. I'm kind of scared because I think he's the hardest one.
Every time you say Lawrence, I think of like Lawrence of Arabia.
That's what
Lawrence, the first V car. After him, I got 2 more bosses left, but after him, I'm pretty much done. I feel like I'm done with. After Cause, I'm done, dude. I'm done. I attempted Lawrence like 1 or 2 times. I was like, he's not bad, but that was only like the first form. So I'm kind of scared. His later forms. Actually, his third form is the easiest. So
Really?
his second form is what
So-
I'm afraid of. Yeah.
So how? I know a lot of so from the bosses you fought that I've seen, it's a lot of like first phase, second phase. Is he one of the few that has 3, or is that like it just I missed some of the other ones? Like, is it normally just 2 phases or?
Every boss has a third phase. It's just that their second phase is just they don't change form, but they added moves.
Oh,
to
okay,
it.
okay.
And dude, that's what makes Cause really hard because he has variation of moves. So he'll pretend he's gonna do something.
Yeah.
And so you don't know if it's a 2-hitter or a 3-hitter.
Well, when watching
just
you,
like-
it's just like he swings his arms so much. You're like, I can't tell if he's done with a motion or if he's going for like
Another one.
another one.
Another.
His first form. I mean, I
You
still
had
make
it
mistakes.
down.
No, I still make mistakes though. Like it's just this timing of it is still hard, and if I make a mistake, it's like fuck, I died.
I knew the runs where you weren't going to do it just from one thing. When you hit second phase and you couldn't set up right on that first hit, he's like,
yeah.
It's not happening.
yeah.
But you honestly, like, you make that first form like seem very easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people struggle with that first
Yeah.
form because he has really weird tracking moves. The hitboxes are kind of weird. So
But all you got to do is just get him stuck on a tree, right? Did
gotta
you
go
see
pee.
that?
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna go to the restroom right now, guys, and just.
I'll be right back. I'm like, wait, did he do that on purpose?
and I tried
I don't know if he did that on purpose.
I tried shooting him to death and nothing happened because I don't have enough
You didn't have
bullets.
him?
But
So you literally just had him there, and you're just like, I didn't see that part.
Yeah,
I literally
was
just
like,
saw you going like, really? And then you're just like, all right, guys, I'm gonna go, and then he just gets up and like leaves.
I'm gonna be. I don't know. I have to email the guy again because he said he would get back to me. But I'm gonna be play testing a Square Enix. I could talk about the game. Outsiders. I forgot what it's called.
it was at E3.
yeah, Outsiders.
No, inside, dude. Gotcha.
I'm getting paid to make a video, and the guy said it's not.
Oh,
he's
man,
like,
though.
so he was like, I'm gonna pay you $200. I was like,
Nani?
So
man.
you know, usually I don't like
Shinderu.
I don't like fucking polish videos. I'm gonna polish this video.
You're just like,
Ooh. What are you doing? Oh, I'm making a video. But yeah.
Nice.
So that's next Wednesday.
exciting.
Super secret. I'm gonna be with other creators, so I should network.
Cool.
Business cards.
Yeah, business cards. They're gonna be legit. I'm not legit.
Tell Jeff
Business
Keighley we said hi.
Shout outs to Twitch LA. You know, I'm very critical of Twitch LA, but I'm more critical. I realize I'm critical about the members and
Yeah.
not the
And how they try
main
to
people.
poach podcasters.
That's what I meant to say in the car. Like you're critical about the people there, but
Yeah.
not like
The people there, dude. They've given me so much opportunity. Like I'm going to DreamHack, streaming at DreamHack. Not even going to DreamHack. I'm going to stream. So I'm going to practice Dark Souls. I've made up my mind. Dark Souls is gonna game. I'm going to stream at DreamHack. I got my schedule. Saturday, 10 o'clock in the morning to 12:30.
So everyone watch.
Please watch. We're gonna
so
do
this is what day is
It'll
it
be
again?
on your own
Saturday.
channel, right?
But February
22nd,
22nd.
which is ironically the very first day I streamed 3 years ago. That's so fucking crazy,
Shinderu.
dude. That's crazy. I was tripping. I was like, that's the very first day I streamed Neo. Neo was the very first game I streamed. I should stream Neo. No, I was kidding. I'm just kidding. But I'm gonna have to practice Dark Souls a little bit, just so I don't look
No,
like
look-
I don't know
bad.
what the fuck.
Look
I'm
real
doing.
bad. Look like you've never streamed before in your life.
What's this? It zooms into my nose like
Inverted controls?
And then be like, okay, guys, we're ready.
Nose
And then
cam.
just literally your-
nose kept.
I think this guy's donkey.
But yeah, I'm excited.
So
Haven't
wait,
watched-
are you going to be on your own stream channel or are you going to be on DreamHack stream channel?
I don't know how that works. I know I'm streaming on my own channel.
Okay,
but
so
I don't
people
know.
can tune in to you.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna
Host or something.
broadcast it or. But I'm the
You should
opening.
talk to him about that if they
yeah,
have one.
yeah, I should ask him. I'm the opening act. There's only 15 streamers streaming, so
Chosen.
So far.
so far. Wave 1, but wave 2.
Hey, me and Croche coming to the picture in wave 2, dude.
Yeah, I know, right?
We're on like surfboards, surfing through that.
Hell yeah, dude.
We're going to live stream.
Do it. Nipples.
Amaranth, watch out. I got some short shorts.
Damn.
I'm coming at you.
Yeah, so I'm preparing for DreamHack. I'm kind of nervous, but we'll see how it goes. I feel like I'm like a fraud. Like all these things are happening, and I was just like, "Fuck!" Like
Frogger?
I'm
You're
not
just dodging
like
traffic?
I'm up and coming, but I'm not there.
Up
you
and
know?
coming, but at the same time, you were like, I've been making videos
I
for
think
9 years.
the thing is like
So-
this is like part of that journey. Like it's not like you can also like to other people you can feel like you've made it and you're like I'm not even close to this thing and they're like dude
like
you're
step
you're
one.
there, you're on that pedestal, that number 1 pedestal already, you know, like
Yeah.
and so you're cause since you're on the journey you don't feel like you're there, but I can tell you a lot of your viewers are probably like he made it, he's there.
No, man, no. But I mean, lesson. It's about connections. It's not all about what you know. It's about who you know as well. And I realized a lot of these opportunities is because of
People
who I
you
know. Yeah, shit. So, and you guys will be going to Twitch LA and make them connections.
Gotta start making some friends. Cool. That's exciting, dude. Exciting stuff.
What about you, Karosh?
I
How's your
held.
life without Destiny anymore?
What are you talking about? My life
What do
is
you
Destiny.
mean? I am Destiny.
I successfully hosted a Triwizard Cup,
You mean sensually?
sensually and successfully. Voldemort was getting some
Hard.
looks. No shirt under. Katie's like birthday. The idea was to host a Triwizard tournament with a bunch of her friends, and I was like, all right, I'll host it so you can have fun and be
Chill,
the
enjoy.
main person. I mean, she didn't chill because she was also so involved that she was like still like
Yeah.
on. But I was like, I got this. I kept
I
like,
got this.
I was Dumbledore. I dressed up. Well, I mean, I dressed up as these characters. I became them. I acted like them. I even gave like she helped
Like,
write
give me that Dumbledore accent.
eternal glory. Did you put your name in the goblet, Harry? It's hard. So like I could do. She gave me. It was the speech she gives.
Yeah.
She's like, Hogwarts has been able to like host the Triwizard Tournament, all the like this whole spiel, and I was like, I can't hold an accent and look in front of 25 people
Should've
and
practiced it, dude.
say that. And I was like,
Should put like $25 there and just be like,
I was like going in and out of the accent. I was like, and people had their phones up, and I was like, literally like
More
right
than
before I even,
25 people.
right before I started, I was about to start. I had the iPad stylus, the pencil,
Yeah.
and I put it to my neck. Like, can I get everyone's attention? and then I started the speech, and then like immediately someone was like, right, and I was right where the camera was, and I was like, oh fuck. And then Kay's like, oh yeah, good idea. I was like, fuck.
No cell phones allowed in Hogwarts.
You should have done something like
No, I did. So I had. He has a beard,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't stay on right because it hung from the ears.
Yeah.
So I had to duct tape it to my cheeks, and like the way it was talking was weird. So I'm like talking, and it's just like. And then I tried to stay in character as much as I could. You know, we did Quidditch Cornhole.
Okay.
Was the first game. The second was trivia. And I gave Jang some of my trivia. Katie
hard.
even was like, I want hard questions because I am
wow.
good and I'm gonna take people down. She was like, those are fucking hard. I was like,
You went to like HarryPotterQuiz.com.
he's
No.
like, in year 2, Harry Potter
Not
goes
okay.
to a.
so it was like category. So it's like I gave a subject
It's a
and it's
Jeopardy.
like list as many things that
Oh, okay.
pertain to that. And whatever you have that is unique, it was 3 teams. The
Mhm.
Bobattons, the girl team, the drum string, and Hogwarts, the 3 schools. And whichever team if you had the same thing as each other, those canceled out.
So
So
no
you would only
points.
get points for
Unique.
something that was unique. Yeah. And so I would ask questions like, list as many faculty members at Hogwarts as possible. And there was some good, like, everyone got, like, I mean, you're going to get a lot of the
McGonagall.
common ones, but people would forget certain people. Like, Finch.
Oh.
So what if they did something like
Argus
that where they say
Filch.
Finch, but his name is Fitch or something like that?
I was fine with it. So when I was...
Oh, it's not like the other gate time. when you
No,
played a
exactly.
game.
Yeah, when I was at I went to this cabin in Big Bear. It was very much like fucking
And
stickler,
heated.
and I was like, I don't want, and it still got heated. Like people were like, house elf, and someone was like, slavery's not a job, and someone was like, bitch. And I was like,
Oh.
No cell phones. I mean,
The wand.
yeah.
Abracadabra.
So I was Hagrid during this one.
Okay.
I was like, Dumbledore had to go do some ministry shit. I'm here. We're gonna try and run this well. I had like name what was it? Name as many classes offered at Hogwarts as possible, or name as many occupations offered in the Wizarding. And it was like people were like, janitor. I was like, no. And I had to be like specific stuff like aura or something like that.
Or
It was hard, and so I had like 10 questions. After seeing 1, the struggle, and 2, the tension, I was like, I gotta hit the eject button. I was like, all right, we're doing 5, and then I was like, all right, we get next event, because it was starting to get bad.
Did
They're
you
like,
have- did
if
you have
that
one?
counts for them, you should count for us. I was like, I'm in charge.
I make the rules. Did
And-
you have
and-
spells? Like name all the spells.
That
and
was
stuff?
one of the harder
Okay.
ones. I saved it. I didn't use it because I was like, they're not gonna get that if they can't get.
Everyone's like, Expectus Patronum. You all said it. It doesn't count.
someone.
Leviosa or Leviosa?
And then Hagrid's beard was worse than the other way. It like did 2 straps, and like it ran high. So like I kept having to pull it down.
To get it.
Yeah, and I was like, God, I hate these fucking beards. And then the last one I did. So then I modified regular code names, the board game.
Mm-hmm.
And normally it's played between 2 teams, but because there's 3 schools, I made the board bigger, and I made 3 sets of cards. And there was still 1 bad card, and the bad card was Voldemort. And so when I set the game up, I let them all figure out the rules. I walked away, and I came back as Voldemort, and I used like a wooden ladle as my wand, and I had this mask, like it was just literally cardboard, and it just had his face. and like I wore it for a little bit, but I can't see, so I wore it like on my side, and then like I would.
Quirrell.
I could, yeah, I know. I could have done that. Potter. I kept it on the side because it had elastic,
Yeah.
and so I would sit down, and like someone was like right here, and be like, "Oh fuck!"
Oh shit!
Like
No
I
wonder
thought
you
you
not be
stared
named.
at me. I was like, "This is pretty good." So
And then, like you're like, so I'm wearing it today as well.
Nah.
Just like busted.
You should
out.
have like kind of coaxed him, like, say my name.
well, I ran around, and I was like, "Get the wrong card, and you will lose everything." I had a bunch of quotes saved up, but like I would remember them here and there. And then so then that was the last one, and then we had like literally it was a cardboard cutout of a Triwizard Cup. We're like, all right, you guys won.
And then someone drops it and it breaks and.
But I was like, man, this we'd been planning it for like a month, and it was a lot of like prep work, a lot of arts and crafts and the costume things. I was like, it came out pretty well.
Yeah.
And like I was expecting more people to dress up, and like 2-3 other people did. I was like,
Man, no fun.
It's fun.
Katie was Harry Potter, but the entire time she was acting like Hermione. She's like,
Shit.
I think that you meant this, and so I was like, yeah, that's what I meant.
All right, Hermione.
Were you Snape?
No,
Oh.
I wanted to. I was gonna reuse the same cloak for Voldemort, and I had the wig, or not, Voldemort. And I was like, no, this doesn't. I don't think this looks right.
But you had to do the.
Yeah, it was, but I felt like he was one of the characters I could impersonate the best. So I want to do him later. I want to dress up as him and act like him. But I kept the Voldemort outfit. I want to do that for a convention. So that happened. I'm playing a lot of Destiny. There wasn't much. I just kind of was like working on a few little grind things here and there for little quests I was doing.
Little question, mean that gun,
Which one?
the new one, the exotic.
The Bastion?
Yeah.
Sort of, but that one already did.
Oh, there's a thing too. So Twitch Prime has.
Yeah.
I can't connect to it.
You have to go. So I had the same problem. You have to first, instead of going through Twitch to link to
Yeah.
Bungie, just go to Bungie, sign in, because every 2 weeks or every time they do an update, you have to re-log in. Once you've logged in and then you
Okay.
do the Twitch thing, it works.
Yeah, because I go to
'Cause I
log
was
in,
losing my
and then
mind.
it
I'm
takes
like-
me to Bungie, or it takes me to
Steam.
I choose Steam, and it takes me to BattleNet.
Yeah.
And it's like after I log in, it tells me like, oh, this doesn't work.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, let me try BattleNet. I go to BattleNet. It's like, oh, your account moved. It's now on Steam. I'm like, that's what I just tried.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
You gotta log in first and then do the thing. And then
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, just been doing little things here and there in Destiny, and then playing Slay the Spire.
Been
I
slaying.
finished unlocking everything for Ironclad, and I started reading up strats for it. And I don't. It's like the strats I was avoiding completely are the ones that it was telling me to do, and I'm like, I don't understand, because as soon as I tried them, I couldn't figure out, like I would get the least progress. And I don't know if this is what for you guys. It was saying like really keep your deck small with Ironclad,
Yes.
but also keep it defensive, and then use cards that use your defense to attack.
Well, that's a strategy on that one because of the.
It was just like
I
saw that one recommended a lot, like by a bunch of different people. So I was
I
like,
just noticed that lower or pre-ascension, no ascension levels, thin deck is better.
Okay.
When you get higher into the ascension levels, you want to get a thicker deck.
Yeah.
Thick.
Thick
Thick-
boy.
Thick deck.
essential.
Sensual
Um,
seduction.
But yeah, like there was one run I almost won because a combination of the relics I had, but also I had a lot of like 0 cards where it's like anger, and then it would double, and then like if I had those cards and a low deck, then I would just get using anger like 100 times, and I would buff my strength up.
Have you tried watching like just
I'm gonna start doing that.
people
now.
play specifically Ironclad?
So what's weird is corruption. I'm pretty sure you've seen that card.
Yeah.
It's a high tier card. No, it's a high tier card. I don't know how to use it. Like
Some men don't use it.
I don't. Yeah.
you use it when you're
What is-
about to die,
what
like
is-
or towards the end of your combat.
What is exactly
So-
like the?
Every skill costs 0. It gets destroyed.
Oh, that's
So
what you would
it's
use
like
then.
defense. It's for your defense. And I don't know how to play it. Like I was like, and that's the S tier card.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
it's like a last minute resort. Like you're about to die, you're like, all right, I got to use every skill I have, and you would bust it out and defense and buffs and
Yeah. So I've been
Skills.
playing it. I'm debating whether I want to beat the game, like finish that third act, but at the same time I want to unlock. I just like unlocking
Yeah.
things, so I might. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
You might like the other characters.
I played a little bit of both of them, and I was intrigued by them, but I'm like I'm gonna forget how to. I don't know. I don't think I will.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll forget.
But, yeah.
I don't think you'll forget.
Ironclad's pretty straightforward. So then besides that, now that all this Potter stuff is done, I'm working towards WonderCon, and I want to do a cosplay. So I'm trying to get in a better shape and do an M Bison. So I'm getting some of the articles together and trying to put the costume.
Are you gonna do the whole speech with Chung Li?
It was only a Tuesday.
Sensuous.
That was such a great.
You killed my father or my family.
To me, it was only Tuesday. And the other thing that kind of reminds me, I don't know why. Katie and I rewatched Mask of Zorro. It's on Netflix. That movie
That's
was
the one with Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins
Antonio
and Antonio Banderas
Banderas.
and Catherine
I remember
Zeta-Jones. I totally forgot that scene. I was like, wait, I remember this scene. And he's like, I know that Batman is inspired by, Zorro is one of the inspirations
Yeah.
for Batman.
Mhm.
But like looking at this, the way this movie was made and tried to like revamp Zorro to be modern for the time it came out was really cool because it reminded me of Batman Beyond. The original Zorro, Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, old guy. Teaching the young guy.
He's at the end of his thing and he loses and he's gone, and then this young guy comes in, teaches him the way. Yeah, 100%. I was like, this is
Batman, yeah.
just not techno futuristic, but like it was good. Like I love the acting. And what's funny is there's this trope. I don't know if you guys catch it, but I've caught it now in like at least a handful of action movies. Whenever there's an explosion, sometimes you can hear like a lion roar or a tiger roar. I've heard it in
I know what you're talking about. Like,
yeah, Hot Fuzz does it.
yeah. I think they reused the same sound, dude.
So
to
they
be
do
honest,
that.
No, but in Mask of Zorro, there's a scene because there's this whole thing about like they're mining and they're
Yeah.
exploding up the mine, and it blows up, and there's like 30 seconds of just different explosions. Each explosion
Has a-
one of them has a lion, one of them has a cheetah, one of them has a tiger. Like it's like just like fucking. And Katie's like not. She's like, I'm like, do you hear this? She's like, what? I'm like,
They
I play
sound
back.
like
I'm like,
explosions.
listen closely, and I turn up, and she hears like, what the fuck? Like, why?
But see how like if you're not really trying, it just sounds like normal.
But like,
but once you pinpoint it, you're just.
but
like,
why
wait.
does someone even do that? What? It's not even
So
like
it's things that they do. So there's
it's
like
not even like the
there's
Wilhelm scream.
Yeah, there's that one.
But
where
that's
people
like
reuse
someone-
that. But there is like a specific explosion roar. I think that's used over and over as well. And
Yeah, I
I don't
think
know.
there's one that's
I
used
don't know
over
if
and over.
maybe they were like, we're gonna use this. Oh, you know what? We can throw different
Tweak it. Let's
things
tweak
in
it.
here. Yeah.
Streamlabs.
Yeah. So fucking like high pitched roar, low pitched roar. and it
It's
just
the
sounds like-
funniest thing. I love it. Like I'm not knocking it. I just don't
All right,
understand
next topic. All of the
tropes. Or,
the trope sounds, dude.
yeah. So there's that. And then last thing, Pokemon Go has had training now included. They've had local battling. They've now done a battle league
Oh.
within the game.
Thought Evolve. Trading Pokemon Evolution.
Well,
Evolve.
no, they actually did add it where now they've added a thing where certain Pokemon, when you trade them,
That evolve.
they
Now
don't evolve, but they don't cost anything to evolve.
Oh.
Like before, you had to pay a certain amount of resources. If it's been traded, instant, you can
Oh, okay.
evolve it if you want. The thing I was getting at was now there's like, I could just hop online and do competitive battling, and it's hard. Like the thing. So there's a few things with it that I'm like, people are like, it's right now. It's in preseason. They're doing seasons, and they're switching things up and stuff, but. The thing that's annoying, and I guess it's part of the whole, it's a on-the-go game.
Yeah.
In order to be able to play that aspect of it, you have to have in that day or since
Walk
the
a
last
certain
time,
amount?
you have to have walked 5 kilometers.
Ooh,
Okay. But
that's
other
a
than
lot.
that, it's
And
That's
when you
a
do
lot.
walk 5 kilometers, you get 5 battles.
okay.
You could win or lose them, and then if you want to play 5 more, you have to walk 5 more kilometers, and you're capped per day at 15.
Wow.
And I'm like, it's so right now Pokemon Just Go,
Yeah.
the battling hasn't been utilized by a lot of people. People I know, people I don't know, they're like, no one's battling. No one cares.
Yeah.
Like, the incentives aren't good enough. They don't understand it. It's daunting. You know, there's a lot of, 20 types of Pokemon, Swift activities and all this stuff. All these different moves you got to, and resources, the cost it does to power things up, add moves. And, I'm like, that exists already. It's already kind of like a smaller pool. And the people, YouTubers and all these other people have been trying to make local events for it and make it as big as they can. And then when this got launched, people were like, oh, finally, we're getting an official, sanctioned sort of thing, supported. We can do this. And they're putting barriers up. And I'm like, I don't think that's opening doors. I think that's making it harder for people to open.
It's like finally having a way, but it's a tunnel.
Yeah.
Now you gotta walk that tunnel.
So they said they're right now in the preseason they're open to feedback and people are they might adjust things. So I'm hoping they change a few things because
I think would you agree that the biggest thing would be possibly just having 5 free for people and then adding more as they walk?
I think what they should do, and I've heard a lot of things suggested. That's one of them. I've heard make a ranked version and a casual version, and make the casual version open. Just play as much as you want. None of it matters, but you get to play.
Yeah, in practice.
And then make the ranked one the requirements to because once you rank up, the first few ranks you just have to play to get
Doesn't
it
matter
to
if
go
you
up.
win or lose.
But after you hit rank 4, only wins will progress you. So far they've said losses don't push you back. But when they say when you're in the highest ranks, when you do get losses, you get paired with they have another ranking that's not shown, and they're you'll get paired with lower people within that ranking. So I don't know. It's still early. It kind of came out a day or two ago, and so far I'm undefeated.
But you're under rank 4.
I've only done 6 matches because the first 5, once the game started, once the battling started,
Now you retired.
the first 5, now I retire. The first 5 were free. They're we want everyone to try it. So
Yeah.
the first 5 are free, but from that point on, you have to walk to get them.
You've been running.
And then if you don't walk, you have to pay. You can if you they'll say 5 kilometers, and they'll say if you walk 2, you pay X amount of coins. You can
pay the difference essentially.
Yeah.
Or you just build a machine that goes like this, and your phone's dangling.
No, people were saying because they used to do that, they would put their phone in a sock. They're time to whip out the sock. I was like, what? Sensual?
Sensual seduction.
No, not that sock.
Oh, crap. Strap the phone.
But it's interesting. I'm curious, as this game continues to keep changing, it's another
But
thing.
this when you have the points or the 5 tries,
Yeah.
it's online. You can be at home and you can
Yeah,
just casually
I was
play.
doing one while I was waiting for you guys. So I would open up the app, and now there's this thing that says battle,
Yeah.
and I go there, and it tells me my stats,
Mm-hmm.
and then it tells me the next reward, the rewards for the next wins,
Oh, when you get
and it tells me my rank, and yeah,
nice.
so yeah, Magikarp.
We don't open gifts in Pokemon Go.
Yeah, you never open it. I still have you as a friend though. Always. It's about the people you know.
The journey.
Hey, also
about the journey.
Ron is ready with his Pokemon team.
Shit, I saw that. I'm gonna meet up with him on Sunday.
He posted
Super Bowl.
that he got the
Animal Crossing Switch.
and we have a friend that we have recently saw who's huge into Pokemon. This guy builds teams around
Ivy
certain
train,
strands.
Ivy
Yeah.
train.
Yes.
And he's like, my team's ready tomorrow. We're like, no. He's
You
like,
gotta
"Hold on,
battle."
hold, dude, we're gonna get wrecked.
I'll trade you some Pokemon. I've been trying to help my friends. I'm like, here, I got extras of this one. Take this one, give it this move, all this stuff. Anyway,
Wow, look at you.
trying to foster the community.
Mm.
Anyway, do you guys want to get in the topics?
Yeah, it's
Sure.
All right, Jang,
So Nathan Grayson from Kotaku recently,
friend of the show.
yeah, I got
Sensual
interviewed by him once, but he didn't put me in the article because it didn't fit his agenda. But anyways, he wrote an article about just the Twitch mixer, details of transactions that went down and how people are jumping ship because of certain shadiness and
money.
all this other stuff. But it kind of made me think, dang, what do you think the landscape of streaming will be within 5 years from now? 5 years in the future, what will?
It's that Windows landscape picture that they took. It's all bumpy and shit, you know.
The grass field one. I love that background. That was
then you'll love Twitch, dude.
streaming. That's the streaming horizon.
I mean, you know that a lot of streamers from Twitch are being pulled away for deals, money, multi-million-dollar deals.
Like multi.
Facebook, YouTube gaming.
So, can you tell me what has Facebook been doing? Like, let's go through some of the big ones right now. And
So I was surprised by the article. YouTube gaming has eaten a big chunk out of Twitch, 30%. When I started, that thing was like at 5%. I was like, holy shit, they made some. Like, it was more than Mixer. Mixer's like 7% or something like that. It was less than 10, but I was tripping out. And so yeah, so people are buying streamers so they can have their platform boosted for views.
Yep.
That's what it comes down to. And so all these big players, Facebook, YouTube, Mixer, those are the main ones.
what were they again? Facebook?
Let's put YouTube gaming
YouTube?
first. Mixer's probably second, and Facebook's probably last.
Okay, those three, and then there's Twitch. Those are the
Twitch
four.
still is
Number one.
number one.
Those are the four big ones right now that we're
Yes.
kind of talking about. Okay.
Yes.
The thing that I've been like you, the only thing I've been seeing is this contract stuff like Shroud, Ninja, King Gathalion was another one.
You got Mixer, right?
Yeah, he's on Mixer. And then I remember like Destiny community was like, because half his clan was still on Twitch, and like, is this gonna break the clan? I was like, just because he streams on a different platform doesn't
Sure.
mean like, in terms of the friendships, they're like,
I
we're
mean,
still
Ninja still streams with
yeah.
Twitch people, so
Yeah. So I was like, people were like trying to stir stuff, I think, more than anything. But yeah, those are some big ones. For Mixer, I think the Facebook ones that I know are like what? Variety streamers or
Toast, Disguised Toast
Disguised
is probably
Toast is the
mo-
biggest one.
Zero is probably up there too.
Oh yeah, he got.
Oh,
Wow,
right. I forgot about
him.
the Smash guy,
Settle.
right?
Yeah.
Hey, don't forget about Dre, dude.
Well, no, the last thing I saw with him was that he's like not playing competitive Smash, and he's mostly sticking with streaming because the anxiety of. Anyway, that's a tangent. And then there's YouTube. I remember one of the guys nominated this past year at the Game Awards.
Dr. Disrespect?
Courage,
Yeah, Courage. He's on
Oh, that's
YouTube.
right. Valkyrie?
Valkyrie's
Or
on
Valkyrie, whatever you
YouTube.
say.
So we're seeing these contracts start becoming, and then
And Twitch started doing stuff that they didn't
Dr.
do.
Lupo,
Dr. Lupo,
Tim the Tap Man, and someone else, right?
yeah,
Pokerman.
and Dr. Disrespect too.
Oh,
No,
right.
So that one's a weird one.
He's got a TV thing.
No, Dr. Disrespect hasn't officially announced that he got out, but he's talked about like, I've gotten money not to move from this platform, but he
Yeah.
hasn't like essentially said like
Contract.
contract
Yeah.
type of thing. I don't
So-
know. So I don't know how that one's working.
The only other thing I can think of that I want to like put out there as we were discussing this is YouTube's big move on esports. Primarily Activision Blizzard, which is a big chunk of esports. They're moving all of their stuff over to YouTube.
And the article says that gets more views than what people stream usually.
Yeah.
Like it gets way more views.
I'm just worried because like, I haven't played like a Blizzard game in a while now,
Yeah.
but I've been like, I've been hearing things like they're not doing things right anymore. Like ever since like Activision has bought taken like seems like control of things.
Yeah, layoffs
like-
of Blizzard, Activision forced.
So even with like patches with World of Warcraft, like the most recent patch got delayed because of supposed things going on, and then people are like, "No, we need a patch because right now you guys released a broken update," and so people are like very not happy. Like this has not happened before. I mean, it's happened before, but like early stages of Blizzard, and now it's like it's been long. Blizzard's been established for a very long time now, and this hasn't happened recently, and all of a sudden it's happening again.
So to go back to the,
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to
sorry.
understand how did this tie to that? That's all.
So it seems like there's a downfall happening with Blizzard.
Okay.
And obviously, like they're teaming up with YouTube. YouTube's hoping to take like this wave that Blizzard has brought before with like their professional gaming or esports. But I don't know if this is going to affect Blizzard in the long run. Like if they get lower numbers because it just seems like because people are starting to talk in the background saying like, hey, they're corporate now. I mean, they've always essentially been that, but like it
Sure.
seems like now it's affecting.
I
them
think
in a
more than
sense.
anything, that while that all is still going on, the biggest thing that it is for sure doing is taking a piece away from Twitch.
Yeah.
And it's like looking at what's going on and what you're talking about is like right now everyone's just taking pieces out of Twitch. In different,
Mhm.
it's like that's what I was trying to get at. Is like in addition to all these contract signings of these big names, we have entire like not genres but like like the only other esport that I can think of is Evo and fighting games.
League,
Huh?
League,
and
Dota.
and fighting and like yeah the MOBAs and the fighting games are the other big thing that
So
I
then,
can
like
think of.
Overwatch can't like. There's no official Overwatch on
There-
Twitch anymore.
Yeah.
no more.
So
No
Owls
mas.
and like all their tournaments that you would see
They're
on Twitch
streamed on-
is going to be on YouTube.
Exclusive.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Anything for any of
That-
their other like StarCraft tournaments
I-
only on
What's
YouTube.
funny is thinking about it. I think that is a bigger hit to streaming or to Twitch than like them taking like Ninja and
Mm-hmm.
Well,
because
I think they're all like important in their own ways because
in
like
small batches, like adding all that together is huge to them. But
So if
it
you
just-
isolate
think of
any one
one,
of-
yeah, I think this is the biggest move because the thing is like I don't know how King of Thalion is doing on Mixer. He wasn't like that huge on Twitch as opposed to Ninja being like 120,000
yeah, I mean
people.
comparing
But
the
if you
two,
look
you're
at
right.
Ninja now, he's got like he tops at like 10,000 viewers. If I look at Shroud, he was what like 80,000, like upper echelons of like 80, 90,000. He's like around 6,000 usually, like his really high point.
But I think what's important is you have these high profile brands,
Yeah.
characters, brands, whatever you want to call them, and like people recognize them. They're like these
Mhm.
people. I know what the product is, and now they're on these platforms, and those platforms were like it was like a mutual thing. It's like we need something to identify with our platforms, and they were also the streamers. I mean, this article kind of illustrates is like streaming isn't sustainable, so these people are looking for long term
Yes.
like stability. And so for them to sign contracts like that offers that to them.
Yeah, yeah.
So
No,
they don't
no.
have to worry about doing
I understand that they're fine, but I just feel like those numbers because those people, the difference in those numbers,
It
those
doesn't
people
matter anymore to
stayed.
them.
No. I know, I understand that. But with Twitch, those that difference stayed with Twitch. You know, like so where Ninja was getting 120,000
It
people,
dissipated to other people.
110 stayed with Twitch. 10,000 moved over, or at least that's the way I see it.
Yeah.
Not all 10,000 people were exclusive to Twitch. You know, maybe some were already from Mixer. They you know now they're watching Ninja, but like that's still like that's if you think of it like as a single move, that's not a huge hit to Twitch. Like they're still staying. So I
Right.
wonder.
But when they keep on losing pieces like that, it
little
adds
pieces,
up.
But I
dude.
wonder
Yeah,
how
if you,
big of
if
a
you look
hit-
at just one of them, you're
Dude,
like, okay, not a big
if
deal.
you were to tell me 3 years ago, YouTube would have 30%, I'm like, you're fucking kidding me right now.
Yeah.
And
I
that
remember you
number
were
could,
saying like YouTube's dying. Like,
is that number including like the fact that they already had, or this is more recent?
this
and
is
not including
before the announced
The
that
Blizzard?
contract. Yeah.
that? Okay, so it's already gonna spike
but I
up.
agree. I think the esport thing, that was what like I knew all this stuff was like it's gonna be gradual. Getting certain streamers, that's gonna just take
Yeah.
hits here and there. But taking an entire thing, I'm like, oh,
I'm worried
like-
that like these splits. I know it's obviously damaging Twitch in the long run, but I feel like it's also damaging streaming in general because I don't know how many people are gonna follow.
streaming as a viewer or
No,
streaming as a streamer?
the pro sport league, specifically like Overwatch, Owl, that those things for Blizzard, because like
Everyone use. I mean, YouTube is. It's
I
not like
know.
going to.
I mean, I know
feel
it's,
like
it might
going-
not be your thing, but like for example, like Evo, if they move to YouTube, I'm fucking watching it.
I'm not moving out of Twitch. Like whenever
I mean,
I'm playing
you
a game,
use YouTube. I feel like it's if you go to something you don't normally use, like Mixer.
yeah.
I'm more in line with what you're saying.
But
But if it's between two things that I'm like, I kind of will use both. Like it's
Yeah.
like if you have Netflix and Hulu, and then all of a sudden someone's like CBS All Access, you're like, I don't watch anything else on CBS All
Yeah.
Access. I'm not getting it.
no,
or
but
that.
like okay, so the I think their biggest thing is they have it split. They have literally like YouTube Music split, YouTube like
Oh,
regular
you mean
YouTube.
like apps? And
So I
programs?
don't even pay attention to
It's not
YouTube
split
gaming.
anymore. It hasn't been.
But like when I log onto YouTube, it's like my recommended videos. I don't see anything gaming related. Like if he told me in the car that they're 30%, honestly, I would have been like, "There's no way." Like going on my own page, there's no way. Like I don't see anything gaming on this thing. Like if they promote, obviously, eventually they're going to promote it. They have to. Like it's going to be a thing where on my normal page they'll be like, "Hey, by the way, YouTube Gaming, here's like the top 2-3 streamers or something like that." But as of right now, like I would have never guessed that. I don't like, even though I use YouTube, I literally log onto YouTube. I just look at like my recommended, my top people that I've
What's
followed.
crazy is when I was doing YouTube Gaming, it was a lot of people were watching San Andreas. My shit was getting recommended to people, like people who like San Andreas. It would show up like this person's live and click on it. And I was like, holy shit. Thanks, YouTube. And then you fucked it all up. So I moved to Twitch without a contract.
And then I fucked it all up.
But my question was the 5-year thing.
Yeah,
we're talking about now.
Well, no, I wanted to kind of mention the esports thing, and then we went on discussions of that stuff. But the reason I brought that up is, and it's sort of in the direction we're heading this conversation, is brands. It's very much in the same vein of like Netflix came on the scene, was huge. No one was eating their dinner. Like they had whatever they wanted.
Dude,
and then
it started off as a kiosk.
Yeah, and then slowly everyone started chewing away at Netflix. Hulu came in, HBO came in, everyone came in and then took pieces away from Netflix. They're not gone.
What's scary is, like, because we're a little bit older and, you know, we're barely on the boundary of we watch Twitch streams, but to younger people, that is their TV.
That's TV.
That's fucking TV. Dude.
Same with YouTube. It's like,
and I think people are realizing that, and that's like, corporations are like, oh shit.
Well, so what I'm saying is that it's going the way of television had, where it's like you had it all in one place, and then it's going a la carte. And now you have to be like, all right, well, I have to get this. Like, I have to get YouTube. I have to get Mixer. And it's like any other network kind of programming or corporate thing, where it's like, all right, they're part of this brand, so I need to. If they start doing paid structures, like Twitch has that, where it's like Twitch Prime. If other people start having high value stuff, they're gonna be like, well, if you want to watch Evo uninterrupted ads or Owl's uninterrupted ads, get YouTube Premium or YouTube TV. And it's I they're like building their thing.
They're shredding the
No, yeah.
Yeah, like it's.
I 100% agree.
It's too much spread.
Because that's how TV feels like. It's like I have to have Disney Plus, HBO, Hulu, Netflix.
I mean, you could see the changes. Like Twitch, when you used to be subscribed, you wouldn't get any ads. Yeah. Now they show ads, even if you're subbed.
Well, same thing with Twitch. Twitch was like, if you had Twitch Prime.
Oh,
sorry. I thought you meant what was it? I don't even remember what he said. I mean, I know he said Twitch.
Twitch subs.
When he said Twitch, I thought of Hulu. I think it was because Hulu was doing
even if you pay,
and now
you still
it's
get
like
ads.
they have a lower tier where you still get ads now.
Yeah,
that's what for some reason I heard Hulu.
And even when you're paying the premium, if it's their top shows, like their own show, you still get ads. Which I'm like,
what's the point?
Yeah, but yeah, I think I know Netflix has execs have done interviews, and I know even gaming people have been saying it's not like a gaming thing, it's not a show thing. It's like the currency is attention, and we're not just competing against your other MMOs or your other battle royals. We're competing against Netflix. We're competing against Fortnite for your attention, and I think streaming is gonna. I mean, 5 years from now, I think it's gonna be more of these other ones are gonna be more established. They're gonna have their own paid tiers packaging. Like, I bet you YouTube TV, which is a current thing where you can get like cable TV stuff, they'll add their streaming stuff as like a thing, and they'll be like, we got all the competitions, we got all this stuff. I think another big move we'll see is non-streaming related packages like Netflix or one of those, like partnering with Mixer, or partnering with YouTube, or partnering with Facebook to be like, you can come here for not only your stand-up comedies, your brand new programming, your Game of Thrones, whatever, but you can also come here for Shroud. You can come here for Ninja, and they'll like that brand for everyone. It's just like everyone's like they want to make these bundles the bundle that they that they want to be part of. And
I mean, I this is kind of weird. It's like Truman Showish. Have you ever seen Dr. Disrespect advertise a commercial like Devour? He's like, when I get hungry sometimes, I eat Devour. It's like some microwavable food, but he'll hit a button to play a commercial. I think we'll see more of that. Like, I think we'll see a lot more. Sponsorships are kind of slow.
For like streamers?
Yeah, I think it's kind of slow. You only see like their company name on their stream. I think we're going to see more of that because I think...
But I think... No, what? No, I agree with you. But I think Dr. Disrespect takes it to another level, and I think if it becomes mainstream the way Dr. Disrespect does it, there'll be more money involved. Because I don't know how much he gets paid, but like I feel like someone who just puts like, oh, it's devour in the corner screen of their screen, they're getting paid $10,000. I think with Dr. Disrespect doing this, he also got paid $10,000, but he's taking it to another level. But he's also pre-recording this, so to him, it's like once I do this, I could just replay it whenever I want. But like it seems like that might be more value because it's like it seems like production value and all this other stuff.
But even then, like look at YouTubers, like vloggers and talk show people. They'll be like middle of their vlog, be like, and by the way, this video is brought to you by Squarespace or by whatever. And they're not even like making it where it's like a skip this ad before the ad. It's like skip this ad, and then in the middle is like this video is brought to you by Squarespace. And it's like I can't fucking like it's in the video.
Yeah.
And like it's everywhere. And I agree. I think that'll be more prominent.
Yeah.
I think advertisement is going to evolve.
Yeah.
With a lot of this.
I think it will.
I think more celebrities will stream. It's still not mainstream yet. Like the way YouTube is.
Who
like,
would you think their first celebrity would do it?
Well, I mean, people have been doing it.
Yeah.
Like, but they
No,
don't
just
do
like
it
way
consistently.
more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be more Hollywood.
But I feel like
guess.
there'll be someone who's like celebrity zero, who like whenever they think back, you're like, this guy is the guy who kind of like started streaming when he was
Well, like one guy I can think of that I don't know if this counts or not, but
Tripolinsky.
Xavier Woods from WWE.
Oh yeah.
He started his channel as
But he's
like
not famous,
I'm in the locker room like while people are like like towel changing, and now literally when Super Bowl Sunday is about to happen, he's hosting his gaming channel's Madden tournament. Or when like a big UFC is about to happen, he's hosting his UFC Fight Night, whatever game tournament, and like then he does a bunch of other stuff, and it's become like it's grown, it's huge. Like WWE's like been like, no, we recognize this. So I don't know if that, and he streams for fun, but most of it's like YouTube.
I would say Deadmau5.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's celebrity zero. Consistent streamer.
Okay. That it does it right now.
I don't know about now, but
I wouldn't say there's a celebrity a zero for me. Like I can't think of anyone because like let's say in a week we just see like a bunch of celebrities just start streaming.
Yeah.
I can't be like, oh, this person started it. Like I just can't think that.
Okay.
Like as of right now. I mean, you guys obviously you follow certain people, so you think of them more. I haven't followed any celebrities. So
I
I
think
can't
like
of anyone.
we've also broadened what celebrity means. Like there's so many YouTubers that are celebrities now.
Yeah.
I mean that article was saying a bunch of nobodies became somebodies because
Yeah.
of Twitch. I was like, fuck.
Well, there was something else in that article that I wanted to touch on, and it was about the lifestyle. It was like,
Of the rich and famous
Oh,
lifestyles.
I think Disguised Toast. Like he was grinding and grinding and grinding.
And he got nowhere.
No, I mean he was getting
Disguised
tired.
Toast. Yeah, he's
He was
like,
just getting
I was
tired of
12-hour streams for like a month straight every day, and at the end, I was like thinking to myself, what's the purpose? Tomorrow I'll get another 12 hours and maintain my 10,000 viewers, but is that really what I'm spending my entire day doing? If I didn't do it, then another teamfight streamer would overtake me, take my audience, because they're working just as hard as I am. And in the streaming scene, you can't really take breaks. You can't really let up off the gas pedal. You've got to grind, grind, grind. This sentiment was echoed by several others.
Yeah.
And it's the reason why these like contracts come up and they want like retirement. They want stability.
Yeah.
They want to be able to be like,
Yeah.
when you're a top streamer, you're looking to get off that grind. So you can take a creator who's hit a ceiling in Twitch and be like, where can I go and get like that stability? And I was like, I can see that because I see streamers just like the health life balance is, it gets nuts. Like you see charity streams or like 24-hour crazy streams. I'm like,
once you make streaming like your main job, that's all you have. And like,
but even then, I'm like,
it's not like
if
a
that's
regular job where it's like a 8 to or 9 to 5 or whatever. Like the more you do it, the more you feel like it's in the long run it's benefiting me because I am my own boss. This is my company. Like I want to.
It's
get
not
this.
sustainable. Is it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you can't just for the rest of your life do 12-hour streams. Of course.
Because it's like you're just going at this high, and as soon as you get off, you're like, I lost it all.
Yeah.
And that article touches on medium-sized and small-time streamers got fucked.
Yeah.
Like, especially people who are on Mixer before the whole Ninja.
Oh yeah,
Like
that one.
these-
There's like
that
a chick, right?
Yeah.
And
She-
her partner, they were
yeah.
like, we're getting set up to be some sort of thing. Yeah.
They're getting contracted to do something, and then that Ninja thing happened. They just
like, no, we
people
don't
like,
need you.
oh,
You're not important anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like before it became like as like the Ninja thing. She was gonna be more involved with like fostering talent or something, instead of streaming. And then once that ninja stuff happened, they just didn't do anything with her with that stuff. So.
Wait, was that Mixer with her, or is
Yeah.
that like? Oh wow, that's
So it's saying like the people that were already there,
yeah.
and they weren't as big as Ninja. So
Yeah.
it's like what Jing's saying is like the
I
the
mean,
mid
like
tier, lower
literally,
tier.
all that money was just like, bloop, there
Yep.
you go,
Mm.
and like it just sucks.
Yeah.
So, but
It's again, it's like someone has a hit show.
Yeah.
This is like that. It's like we want that hit show on our
Mhm.
product.
I
And I
think,
see that being like the landscape in 5 years. I think each of these will be more established, and then we'll have a few more coming up, like some random new program.
The Ninja thing, moving Mixer contract. I think it's great for streaming, but it only helps the 1%.
the top.
That's the only
yeah, because
problem.
it made it be like, oh, there's something there for that 1%. But then everyone, like, when it comes to negotiations, as a company, I would want the most value for my money. So I'm going to choose someone who's really high up
Yeah.
and not be like, oh, yeah, I'll take you with, like, 6,000 viewers. You know,
I mean,
like,
it's to me, it's comparable to pro wrestling. You struggle and you hustle through the indies until you get the right opportunity at the right place and
Yeah.
you make the right connection, and then you're John Cena. Like that's how any of these indie people have. Daniel Bryan has become on that upper echelon. It's like he's just navigated that, and then the way I'm equating it is that like small time streamers, it's like you gotta like find,
Yeah.
you gotta
The only-
like be
The
opportune.
only problem is there's like with those like wrestlers. I feel there's. I mean,
smaller
there's still a
pool.
lot, but
Yeah.
with the streamers, there's like hundreds of
No,
thousands.
yeah, it's not. But bajillion times, same concept is what I'm saying,
Yeah.
but like
It's
larger
just,
pool.
It's a lot more maneuvering. you
yeah,
know?
the
Sure.
article touched the ratio between viewer to streamer, 27-1. That number is gonna get
Yeah, only
Yeah.
higher.
fuck.
So another thing. Oh, go ahead.
Oh shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. Go ahead.
So
was-
I think one of the things we'll see, and I don't know if Twitch is the one to do it, but I think if they're not, someone else will capitalize on this, is that while they're focusing on all these top ones, and this is a theory, I'm just guessing, I think some other program, some other service will develop and will be like, we foster and take care of the up-and-comers,
Bite.
the small-time streamers, like the Twitch LA. Like, we'll be like, we have our own program, and it's sort of like, I imagine it'd be like, in a way, I don't know, Patreon. Patreon kind of was developed because YouTube wasn't taking care of the content creators, and they're like,
Yeah.
okay, we're going to create something that facilitates and takes care of creators. And then people came to it, and people of all, sizes, like they were like artists or they're big time people. I think we'll see something that's meant for the smaller, not ninja streamers.
I gotta say,
That's my
like,
guess.
honestly, like right now. So before we were like television, everything was on my box. Like I want to go whatever channel I want to, I go to that box.
You get your cable box.
Now we're splitting it up. We
Yeah.
got the streaming services. I got like HBO Go. I got Stars. I got like all these different things are like their own streaming service. I got Netflix. I got Amazon Prime. And I think we're gonna eventually revert back to everything being under one roof again. And I think if streaming wants to take it to another level, they have to partner within that network. So
Yeah.
like go into like I think I don't know if you were talking about just television, but you
Well, I was just naming companies like imagine Apple teaming with like
yeah.
Mixer.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Netflix teaming with Twitch, and stuff like that. Where
Yeah,
it's like
and if-
places where you already are paying for a service,
Yeah.
they're gonna raise their price by like $3 or $5, and then throw in.
Yeah, and I'm thinking more like, I mean, the top two are like, like at least what I have is Netflix and Amazon Prime. Like those two are huge for a streaming service to. And if YouTube Gaming or, I mean, YouTube might already be there. I don't know how
What?
easy they have it for.
Who's got ESPN? Is that on any service? Is that YouTube?
ESPN Plus has their
yeah,
own
their
thing.
own Disney. Yeah, Disney.
Oh,
which
Disney.
if you had that bundle, you get ESPN plus Disney.
Okay.
Um,
Bold prediction: whoever has the majority of sports is going to make a big buy on all esports, or a big chunk of it, and be like,
Okay.
"You want to come in for sports? We're evolving and we're covering esports
Yeah.
in a big way."
I think it hasn't happened yet. I mean, you see bits and pieces, but esports will be shown on ESPN. Esports is just getting bigger and bigger.
I would have to say though, if the like whatever network wants to, whatever streaming network wants to make it big, I feel like they have to get rid of like live streaming / just chatting type of thing, because when people think of esports, they think of playing an actual video game, and so the live chatting stuff like that. I feel
What do
like
you
that
mean?
would
Like the hosts, the talk?
no,
You're talking about like in
He's talking
Twitch when you
about-
go live chat.
Yeah, just chatting.
specifically just
Just-
chatting.
Oh yeah. I don't think that'll be on
Like
there.
that. Yeah.
I
like
think it'll
that'll-
just be like, because I like to that point that you guys are both making. I think we go back to the topic of like how do we reprimand or how do we keep certain things.
Yeah.
And I feel like while it's not 100% censored, esports is very structured.
Yeah.
Just chatting or some of these other things is very off the cuff, and it's its own thing in a lot of ways. And I agree. I think that's what makes esports so marketable. Is like it's just like, hey, they're here. They'll someone will say something like "Free Hong Kong" or whatever, but like that versus a nip slip or like someone flipping a N-word or something out is like pales in comparison. I think like freedom of speech versus that shit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. If anything, like they'll probably just like that category won't even be available within their like their streaming network service or whatever.
And Pornhub will just take that up. Easy. Pornhub will become another streaming service.
Hey.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, Pornhub could literally team up with like let's say Twitch teams up
Amaranth?
with no. Let's say Twitch teams up with like a streaming service like Netflix. And so they could be like, okay, you're offered every single channel. It's set for just chatting channel. And then Pornhub is like, we'll take that channel.
Fans
We'll
only.
show that.
OnlyFans.
But I was trimming out about Ninja, how much they paid him. So Twitch.
It's still speculation. We don't
yeah,
know
yeah.
for sure.
Well, Twitch was speculated 15 million for him to stay. He took Mixer said 20 million, and Microsoft justified it saying if we went traditional marketing, we still saved money. What we got from Ninja views wise, we would have spent way more. That still boggles my mind.
What boggles my mind is the fucking shit that like Twitch was saying about Ninja. They're like, we've used him up in a sense of free marketing. Like he's no longer of use for us for me garden. For at this point, like we have to start promoting him through us to get more views, and like we don't want to do that. So then they weren't willing to pay more than the supposed 10 to 15,000 or million. I mean, where Mixer's like, we haven't had any of that. This is going to be huge for us.
Investment.
Yeah, but they were. I don't know what the term they use, but Nathan was saying essentially it means like it's free marketing that he brings because he's such a huge person in the platform. But he's already used that up. Like he's no longer getting more
hit a
viewers.
ceiling,
like
yeah.
he hit a ceiling, and they're like, he's no benefit to us. I'm like, wow, dude, like this is insane. I mean,
he's
it's-
looking at him the same way.
It's not
He's
wrong,
like, you guys aren't
but like,
helping my
it's
brand.
it's crazy, dude. Like,
I mean, it's money in business.
Yeah.
That's probably
capitalism.
it's
bro.
kind of fucked up.
Everyone's using it.
Dang, it's just insane, dude.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I
Oh
think
well, the final question is: how do you think the viewership is going to break down percentage-wise in 5 years? Twitch, what percent? YouTube, what percent? Mixer, what percent? Facebook, what
I think
percent?
eventually Twitch will stay up top. I do think I agree with like how the numbers are now. I think Twitch would be number 1, YouTube would be number 2.
Same percentage.
no.
No. It's gonna fluctuate. At some point, it's gonna be like I would say 50% Twitch, and then like 40% YouTube, and then like mixed the rest of them mixed up. But Mixer still wouldn't be up there. I think
I think Mixer will go up.
I think Mixer will go up.
they have to make moves.
Yeah. I mean,
Like
they are.
I mean, they did insane moves already, but there has to be like exclusivity between their own platform, like where they're at, where they can be seen, kind of thing. So like we were talking about, like moving to like having their
Well,
show up on Netflix.
I mean, their whole, at least Xbox's whole thing is we want to be everywhere. So I think it's like, while we want it on ours, we want it everywhere. So
it could be everywhere, but it could also be on.
yeah, get Game Pass. You
Yeah.
get like premium Mixer. Or
You have to make it easy
don't know.
because, like, I don't want to be going into. Oh, I want to watch a stream today. Let me log into this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to watch a movie today. Let me log into. I want like eventually. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna all go back into one type of like
Maybe.
rooftop where I can watch everything again, and they have to be included in that, or else they're not gonna go anywhere.
It's kind of easy if you own an Xbox. I heard that when you turn on your Xbox, Shroud's
It's right
Already
there.
stream is right there. So I mean,
See, that's smart. That's the
Yeah.
kind of shit they have to do. Like that ease.
I think Twitch will still be up, but I think by how far up they'll be will be less. I think YouTube and Mixer will take bigger pieces. I think
Facebook.
I mean, I'm not taking them out. I think they'll get a little bit more, but I don't think it'll be anything compared to the other three. And then I'm curious if anyone else makes a big play, like an Apple or a Disney or I don't know, HBO or
Did
well,
the
I don't,
article say how much Facebook is within like the market
like
share?
6 or 7.
Yeah, it's low.
6%, and then 6%, and then Mixer 7%. So they're like
No.
neck and neck.
Forgot.
I don't remember.
Okay.
30% is YouTube.
Was it at the beginning of the article?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Why don't you have this memorized?
I read half the article. That was it because my
Damn.
work was busy. And then that's it.
The last paragraph was fucked up. They were saying like,
Everyone
yeah,
was screwed.
people are just gonna take advantage of people. It's business, and
Yeah,
that's
dude.
what's gonna happen.
I
And
mean,
it sucks because like these streamers are not. Well, one thing I found out is all these streamers have agents. I was tripping out. I was like, Disguise Toast has an agent? Like, every single one. It's getting big time. Like, that's why I'm surprised that. This is off topic, but I can't believe PewDiePie doesn't have a publicist. Like when you get that big and you're making that much money, millions, you should. Like, come on.
But I think so. He's on his own level is the problem with
Mhm.
streamers. Like I've seen like people will be like, you know what, I'm gonna go ask like because obviously when you're chatting with like chat essentially, you're speaking your own mind. So at some point the guy was like, dude, like I want to start monetizing like I want to start making money and paying my mods essentially, and then someone like in his chat was like, Coke Carnage. He literally has like top mods that he pays, and he's like, "Oh shit, how does he pay them?" And he's like, "Oh, you know what? I'll just message him later." Like they all chat with each other. So I think like, if anything, Disguise Coast probably had talked to someone. They're like, "Yeah, I have an agent. Like he does this," and he's like, "Oh shit, that'll actually help." But it also helps that Disguise Coast is part of like the offline TV, and they have like this huge entire popular streaming community. Like that's Pokemon, Lily Pichu. I don't know.
But that,
everyone else in that
I mean, PewDiePie's bigger, so you
Right,
hire
but-
people. Like,
right.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're on the top, making way
but
more
these
than those
guys
guys.
talk to each other. I don't think PewDiePie's really like talks to him. So he's like on his own level, and he's like doesn't really like. No one can be like, hey, I'm this big, and I've done this, and he's like, well, I'm bigger than you. Like, well, how do I do it then?
No,
I
I don't
mean,
know.
I
It's
don't
just
know.
I don't know. It's not. It doesn't make any. If I'm making millions, I'd hire I'd hire a team. Like fuck, because you're gonna make mistakes.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
you're live or making YouTube videos. You're gonna make. You don't have someone to censor you.
Yeah, I think if streaming does things right, if whatever network does things right, it can become mainstream to the point of like being like normal television type of thing. Because right now it's not like it's still. I would still consider it niche.
Yeah, it
Like
is.
you have to go to that specific platform to know what's going on. I
You
can talk
ask
to friends. and they're
normal
like, I don't know
people,
what the
they
fuck.
don't know. Like
are you
you
talking
ask
about
them
right now?
this, no.
And they're still like, wait, you're watching people play games? Like,
Yeah. No,
it's fucking
people that
2020,
are
bro,
like
yeah.
modern and that I know that are friends of mine-
modern.
Well, I'm just saying like that are like in the know of Instagram, in
Yeah.
the
We're in the
know
future.
of
They're-
Snapchat.
they're
they're like
past.
streaming.
Huh?
What's that?
We're in the future. They're in the past.
Well, I mean, like they're like baffled by this site.
Streaming.
Like, how does it work? How do they make fun? Like, just in general.
And here they are monetizing, all social media, like their Twitch, their Instagram. But they're like, wait, what is this? What is
So
this Twitch?
that link goes to Streamlabs, which is where
Okay.
a lot of the analytics came from. So what it says is two specific things: hours watched by platform and hours streamed by platform.
Let's do watch.
Twitch. Well, no, it's interesting is Twitch is highest on both,
Yes.
watched and streamed. YouTube has higher watched on in 2019, but less streamed.
So there's less
So they're
streamers,
getting
but
so they're
more
getting
watchers.
more viewers per
Yeah.
streamer. Mixer, it is the inverse, but by a lot worse. Like they have a lot more streamers, but there's barely any viewers by comparison.
It's
By,
probably
like,
because of the ninja thing. When he moved,
Yeah, so
everyone.
people think like, if I move there, I'll get and get huge, and now it's
Yeah.
oversaturated with streamers and not enough viewers.
So I mean, there's a bunch of other stuff like what publishers have the most watched stuff.
You know what I
Riot,
think is
Riot,
crazy?
and Epic are the top two. Then it's Blizzard and
sense.
Valve, and everyone else pales in comparison.
Whoever buys, if Mixer buys Riot exclusivity, game over.
Fortnite has dropped big time in viewers over the year, and it might be related to
Yeah.
streamers going to platforms that aren't watching as much. It might be related to other things. I don't know.
Like Tifu's moved on.
Yeah.
He's playing other games now. He's played Escape from
Tarkov.
Tarkov. Yeah.
Hey, so many factors. There's a lot of things moving.
And Tifu, like, once Ninja left, Tifu essentially was like #1 for what I would consider Fortnite.
Dude, you know who's reaping the benefits? Summit and Doc. Dude,
Yeah, because it's weird. Like they're part of they don't even really even talk to each other. Like I mean, specifically like Summit and like Ninja, but they were part of like this weird, like I guess at 1%, like even though they didn't know each other.
It's like an alum.
Yeah.
Like,
and so now that they're gone, because he was part of that 1%, now he's like kind of
there's a void to be filled.
Yeah. And he luckily enough took it without having to even know Ninja.
Yeah, I mean, this is in YouTube that I know. Dado was like the go-to guy for Destiny video info videos.
Yeah.
And he kind of like has been more sparingly doing it every now and again. He's, I think, focused on other stuff. And because of that gap of like no one's doing videos, so many other people have rose up as a result and become faces of Destiny. And I'm like, man, I never thought like there'd be so many new people that I'm like, I don't recognize this video format just in that. And I'm like, same concept, but just like way bigger. But it's crazy. Big moves. Big moves.
Or little moves.
Or little moves.
But make the moves.
Just check them out at DreamHacks, whoever you see, at 10 o'clock to 12:30 on
0
Saturdays.
viewers. Settle.
At The Last Boss.
Smash Brothers. Settle.
DreamHack.
No? All right, next topic.
So mine was, I saw an article saying that Bungie put up,
Bungie
put up a hiring notice for a new creative art director for a new IP.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, we know Bungie for making Halo. Making Bungie. We know Bungie
we
for
know
making
Bungie for making Bungie.
We know Bungie for making Destiny as well.
What'd they put in your tea?
And that's the tea. No, and so they made two like really successful IPs. They made Destiny. They made Halo.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering, like, if you guys have any expectations, what you want to see Bungie possibly make for a new IP, now that they've essentially have a job hiring application for a new art director.
What else did it say about the IP? Did it say anything?
So it didn't really describe much. I'm assuming this is obviously to keep it on the download. They don't want to be like, hey, like we're literally making a first-person shooter.
But there were some descriptors, right?
Yeah. So let me pull it up while we talk. So how have your guys' day been?
I already know my pick. You missed one game that they made back in the day.
What
before Halo. There's a game
that?
called Marathon.
Oh yeah, no one cares about that game.
So I think they're gonna remake. They're gonna redo that universe. Marathon.
Right.
It's like like it's pretty much there are some Halo elements in that game. So I think they're gonna make Marathon.
Can you describe it a little bit for the viewers?
I've never played it.
Oh, you don't know?
Yeah, I just seen pictures of it.
Okay.
I just know that they've made that game, and I've seen pictures of it, and I was like, oh shit! Like in Halo, there's that oddball game.
Yeah.
They have that in Marathon, where you hold a skull and like punch people. It's like football, keep away. It's a game type in Halo.
Okay.
All right, so here's the first paragraph of this thing. Are you on a mission to create games that bond players together into deeply invested communities? Would you like to work on something comedic with lighthearted and whimsical characters? Do you think a lot about how art impacts gameplay, how character designs can enable fan cosplay, or how characters poses and how character poses and environments speak to different cultures all around the world? As the incubation art director, you will define the look of a new Bungie IP and work on all aspects of art to guide the prototype on a path to production.
So what are the descriptors again?
So we have create a game that bonds players together in a deeply invested community.
There was one other thing.
And then, would you like to work on something comedic with lighthearted and whimsical characters?
Okay.
Do you think a lot about how impact blah, and then the fan art cosplay? So not much. And then it says, but it eventually it says for a new IP from Bungie. So I mean, I would.
I think on more than anything, I think they're going to stick to
First
first
person.
person.
I think
Because
I
they're
agree.
so good at it.
They've done so well with obviously like their two main franchises: Halo, which is a first-person shooter game, and then Bungie, Destiny, which is also a first-person shooter game.
Yeah.
Marathon.
I've never heard of Marathon.
Well, I'm trying to think of a way, because like, what other studios like that have made big changes, and one comes to mind is Naughty Dog.
Mhm.
Naughty Dog went from making like, was it Jak and Daxter?
Yeah, like platformers, I would say. Like,
But then even with when they made the jump to Uncharted, they evolved with Last of Us. Like,
Blizzard.
huh?
Blizzard.
Yeah.
For
They're probably the
FPS and-
biggest one.
Riot Games, I guess now.
I mean, Fortnite went from like a defense game to the first person. I mean, it was still a first person shooting game, but like the style direction went away.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Changed
think the safe bet would be go first person shooter, but I think it'd be cool to see them do something different. I think it'd be really cool if it was a third person game because they do that with some whenever the characters have swords or abilities.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like imagine none of the shooting existed. It was all just like magical wizard powers and puzzle solving. Like just only that.
What if it's like similar to like Diablo, like the top down?
I don't see them going that route.
No, I for
That'd be
some
different.
reason-
That'd be different.
For some reason, I feel like they still want to go the loot route, like the
Yeah,
like lootable.
I think the third person would lean into the WoW more,
yeah,
and then the platforming is something like, even though they make first person shooters, they do a lot of like platforming elements that like a Mario game or something would
Mhm.
have with like puzzle solving. And I'm like, this is weird. Like for a first person shooter to have all these like jumping puzzles and just coordination stuff. I'm like, I could see them doing something
Yeah.
more involved in that way, where it's like we're gonna have you explore worlds where it's just hidden secrets and puzzles, and like you figure shit out with friends, like more WoW-esque in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's all I could think of, based on the info they provided. And I
Yeah.
think they'll do a lot of like you said with the cosplay, they'll do some iconic characters. They'll try to get some personalities, like branding in the sense of like mascots.
Yeah.
Like Tracer's a mascot for Overwatch, or I don't know, Mario's a mascot for Super Nintendo. And so like something like that where people want to like that's a big part of longevity with a lot of these
yeah,
franchises.
yeah. It's true.
Is that fan community where
Tracer
they're like,
being the
I can
face.
identify, or I love this character or whatever. Pikachu. I mean, fucking, it's the that's the golden ticket for all this.
But I think ultimately too, like not only that though, is the game itself lend itself to have. It was a game big enough to have people continue to play it to build that mascot
Yeah,
up. You know, like if even though Pokemon would have these same like characters, if the game wasn't that good, I don't think it'd be that great. The mascots wouldn't have become as popular.
Sure.
But with what I know that Bungie can do well, we know that they can do first-person shooters, they can do looters. But I mean, I guess with me being a fan of looting all the time, I would like them to continue that path of lootable. So maybe just like redefine another first-person MMO.
I can't anymore. I don't know if like as a image, I feel like they would stay similar, but they would want to deviate because
Yeah.
it'd just be. Are you guys abandoning Destiny to go to this other thing if it's that similar, or like it'd be compared? Like it has to differentiate itself, much like a lot like you were saying with Blizzard games. WoW and Diablo, while having similarities, are very different.
Yeah.
Or StarCraft, there's key gameplay elements that like differentiate themselves. I think that's what Bungie wants to become, is like their own. They want to become a Blizzard.
Yeah, yeah.
Where we let go of an IP, which was Halo. We have Destiny.
Mhm.
We want more to these pieces. So who knows?
I'm just worried because like obviously like some of their descriptors were like whimsical characters, and I don't want them to like make another Overwatch kind of thing, you know, like.
Oh, I mean, there's more than one way to go. Whimsical.
Yeah, but
Magic.
I don't know because
Magic.
I mean, like the examples I have are
Mario's
games that came out very
whimsical.
similar. We had like Paladin and or Paladins, and what was the other one? And Overwatch, I think both came out at the same time,
No,
kind of.
Battleborn.
Battleborn, and they both actually failed. I mean, Paladins is probably bigger now, but yeah,
no, it's still
Battleborn.
not that big, but yeah, Battleborn did.
Yeah,
Battleborn
that
straight failed.
It's gone. It's gone. But they both like very similar type of style games that came out very
Sure.
close to each other.
Yeah, I mean, outside the competition, I can't factor for it, but I don't think it was a failure because of the characters. I think it was a failure because the game wasn't the game wasn't
that
fun.
great.
Like compared to Overwatch, everyone's like, "This is way more fun."
Do you have any input, Jang?
Marathon
Marathon.
remake.
Boom.
That's what he wants.
There you go.
Did it have whimsical characters?
I don't think so. It's like a futuristic shooter. They're just gonna stick to futuristic shooters.
So
I
I
don't
want
see it going World
Time
War.
splitters.
It won't be World War II or medieval.
That'd be crazy.
Well, with
realistic.
I guess I go back to like the whimsical characters. Yeah, I don't think of them making obviously anything serious like World War II or whatever like that. So they would a futuristic one can lend itself to like a whimsical character or whatever. I don't know. Like they do first person shooter really well. It's just actually now that I think about it, I both the Halo gun shooting and the Destiny gun shooter both feel very very similar. There isn't like it's not insanely crazy. Halo did have some funky guns like the needler and stuff like that. But I mean, they've also made funky guns in Destiny. But ultimately, like the standard guns, those feel like they feel solid. Like
Yeah.
you know, when you shoot a bullet, like you feel that oomph, that power behind it. It doesn't feel like you're just like shooting like a pea shooter or anything like that. And I think they've got that down. So yeah, I mean, a first person shooter or a third person shooter as well would be fine. I don't know. I can't like. I don't know what like the. I don't know if there's anything missing within like current game.
Well, it's probably going to be years from now.
Yeah, well, that's true.
So
That
who
is
knows
true.
what we're like
What
what the
people will
trend,
be-
what
yeah,
the
what the
trends
trend-
will be. But
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be space. I'm gonna put a bet on that part. I think
Medieval?
they've done a lot of space. And they want to try a different creative world.
I mean, they've been going medieval with like the armor sets, you know.
Sure. I think that's them trying to scratch that itch of
Ah.
other stuff. They might do something else. So.
Who knows?
All right, last topic. My topic. Two things that have been relevant for me lately. Oh, sorry. Was footsies, sensuality, and so Pokemon Go. I said, you know, the battle mechanic has been added,
Yeah.
and while I said there's the barriers, one of the things that kind of like deterred some people was like the incentive. Like, this is I want to battle people, but I want to be rewarded properly for it. Like, I don't want just chump change for like being able to reach a high level. I want it to meet like have some weight to it. And then the other thing that came to my mind was recently within Destiny there was a puzzle that was like found, and I don't know if I described it before.
No, I don't think you have.
It's called the Corridors of Time. They had this new story involving characters that are familiar to the world, where it's like this guy, these two friends. One of them had died years ago, and he couldn't. This other guy is a time traveler. He's been like creating simulations and splitting himself up in weird sci-fi shit, and like trying to like find a way to like fix the time to bring his friend. Can't. But like in so doing, he's made this invention that like is a maze through time. And so some people have found like they found this puzzle where it's like a labyrinth, and like it's this room. It's sort of like the movie The Cube, where it's like you go to a room and there's 4 to 5 doorways, and each one you go to leads to another room, and you were like, this is endless. Like when they first found it, they're like, this just keeps going.
Yeah.
But then they figured out patterns through little hints, but like noticeable enough where there were clues and they were sequences. And each doorway had a symbol, and it was associated to those sequences. Like, oh shit, there's something here. So people started doing some of those sequences, and they got little rewards. They were like in-game lore. They're like, oh, you've unlocked this lore, and like, oh shit, there's something more here.
Yeah.
It's like we're digging. And they kept going, and they're like, there's a lot more here. And they're like, they didn't know the full scope. Like, they first thought like, okay, 10, 20 pieces, I think that's it. Like, we've been working like tirelessly for like a day.
Mhm.
Streamers were big on it, everyone. And as they kept going, they just kept realizing it's still not big enough. It just kept getting bigger. And they're like, oh fuck, like there's strategies for like when they were trying to visualize it and create infographics, they were using like Photoshop to like edit these hexes together. And they're like, if we were to do that with the actual amount, like looking in hindsight, it's like that would have taken us years. They ended up finding out that this is over 5,000 pieces large. And it required a community effort because they learned that in each their unique pieces they needed to fit
Yeah.
weren't just a handful. Everyone had a unique piece. Every Destiny player. So the more players that provided this all and compiled it to a single source, the quicker they could solve this
Yeah.
puzzle. So it required everyone in the community. And no one, like, I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, I want to help, but I don't know how. I don't know what the thing is. I
Yeah.
don't know the scale of it. I'm watching streamers, and they're like, they're not even, they're in the Destiny stream, but they literally just have spreadsheets. They're just like HXTFFTX. Next line. All right. Screenshot. And it's like people would like take a screenshot of their final destinations, and they were all unique. Anyway, long story short, they found out that all of these hexes started to connect, and there were open hallways between them, and it was like a labyrinth, literally. Like, so while they would have all these pieces, there was a path that they had to figure out, and within 5,000 pieces, that's a fucking long path. They're like, this is fucking epic. Like, what is this going to lead us to? What is
Yeah.
the final reward going to be? And like, it was a Sunday 1 a.m. and I was like watching, because it was literally, they're like, I think we got the
We're
final
almost
pieces.
there, yeah.
It's like, it's one of two paths, and like I think we got the sequence, and I'm like, I'm staying up. I gotta watch this, and I'm watching the streamers. They're like, okay, we got the final code. All right, the top people as compiling. They're like, all right, send it to the other top people. We're gonna do it first to make sure, and then we'll let the world know, because everyone participated.
Yeah.
They go through this puzzle, and they get to this grave, and it's not the thing. The reason I'm explaining is because it's not available anymore, and I'll get to that in a second. So there's a grave, and you're like, oh shit. And you find out it's your grave, and
Like the personal, like the
Your
main-
character.
Yeah, your character's grave.
it's like the character that was missing narrates. He's like, many thousands of years from now, you passed away, and this is where we put you to rest for
Yeah.
all of your accomplishments. We laid you with your favorite weapon, and you're like, oh shit, it's something from the past, like something we've worked. And you're like, what is it for? And then you get another quest step, and then you do like a handful of easy shit, which is like kill 5 things.
Yeah.
And you get this gun, and so lately Destiny's been doing this thing where they put a roadmap of the season, and in the roadmap they say like, this quest will be available, this gun will be available, this thing, and what the thing that you get was one of the things on that roadmap, and people were like, we already knew that was coming, we thought this was something new.
Yeah.
Surprise. And it turned out, had people figured out this puzzle before that date, this would unlock a week early, and that was the reward. And a lot of people felt the wind sucked out from under them. Long story short, I'm going into that journey was amazing for a
Yeah,
lot of people,
yeah.
but that reward was so
Killed it.
like crap. Did it take away from that journey? And what are your experiences with like going through challenging, amazing experiences, but then you feel like the reward or the final point wasn't worth it? Like, how does that balance work for you guys in a video game?
I think it's always like a balance like that, because
Well, like, what are standouts of that for you? Like that it worked. Like,
I think it depends on the mindset on like the game you're playing, because if I
What game?
So like right now, I mean, obviously I'm playing a shit ton of Escape from Tarkov. For me, the journey is obviously playing the game, going through each map, going like that. The rewards for me is surviving and keeping what I find. And obviously, like, depending on my game, I can find something way, way more amazing, or I can find something that's just not that amazing, but as long as I survive, like, that's the journey for me. And I know that I'm not going to get anything, like, insane. Like, there isn't, like, a one-time exclusive type item that I'm going to get or anything like that. But for me, it's the journey.
well, sometimes it's like the for what you're saying, it seems like it's a lot of like the accomplishment, not the.
Yeah.
You're not getting an item, you're getting an accomplishment.
Exactly.
And
But
I thought of Jang's a little bit too with like the blood level 4.
Mhm.
There's no
Like,
item you're getting.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an accomplishment.
Or an accolade,
but
essentially.
but like even that, it's like, where did that come from? Why does that make you get filled with pride?
Yeah.
Like,
But
and like with yours, why does it make you feel so good?
I'm not sure. Like, I think the way the game.
Like if it was easier, like if the game was a lot less challenging, would
It wouldn't be there. I know for sure. and
would
that's-
getting escape or getting a battle royale win number 1 feel as rewarding to you?
I don't think so. Like, I think one aspect that would make it easier is it's not like a first-person shooter where if I get hit and like as long as I survive that fight, if I just like hide for a bit, like my health goes all the way back up. No, like if my arm like gets destroyed, I like that arm is just dead, and like when I go to aim, my aim is just like shaky
So,
as
like-
hell, and I won't get that arm back. I have to like
Okay.
either survive and escape the map, or if I just fully die, I have to wait until my character heals itself back up again, and then I can go back in with like fully workable arms again.
What about you, Jay?
I like the destination more than the journey, but both are pretty cool. Like trophy hunting, like just getting that trophy that not a lot of people have is such like I don't know. It just I need to get it. I need to have it.
So would it matter more to you, for instance, and I'm just throwing hypotheticals out, if you had like 30 platinums,
mm-hmm.
but they were for easy games,
No.
or if you had a bronze trophy, but if you look at the percentage,
Right.
if it was like 0.001,
Yes.
that one bronze trophy would mean more to you.
Yes. Like just difficult like challenges. Like the Blood Level 4, I don't have to do the DLC bosses to be a 1-bro. So a 1-bro is basically beating the game without leveling up. You just have to beat the main boss in the game. I'm just like, fuck it. I want to do the DLC bosses, and I don't know why I did that. And it's jumped up to number 2 as second. It beats Ninja Gaiden too. The Orphan Fight. It's like Ninja Gaiden 2, but you don't have I mean, you do have iframes, but your iframes are not that much. It's very there's a small window, and you just gotta play perfect. And I'm not a perfect no-hit type of player. Like that's not me, and it's very challenging. I don't know, like just beating the DLC bosses on Blood Level 4 is just not a lot of people have done.
But like something like that, for instance, which and sort of also with you, Vargas, there like I understand the platinum or the trophy because it's a visible thing you could point to and be like, that's like, look,
Yeah.
this is what. But like with your blood, you have your videos, but even then,
It's like bragging rights. I don't know.
it's like a
just
feeling you have.
It's just like it's a status thing. It's a status thing. Yeah,
But I
pretty
think
much.
with all these, like we know what we're getting. Like I know that I'm not essentially going to get much. It's like the accomplishment, that feeling that I get from being able to survive a match and escaping essentially. And obviously, that accomplishment feels even better. Like if I do a run where I never see anyone and I still get out, it's not that fun. Like I didn't do anything. Like I just literally just managed to escape. But if I'm in a match where it's like, dude, I killed 10 guys, bro. Like I survived this onslaught. Like this is crazy, and I got out. Like this is amazing. Even though I didn't pick anything up or anything like that, just knowing that I won against 10 different. Because each fight is just it's life or death. Like if I get shot, like I'll lose the arm, or I can hit enough where it's not gone. And I can heal it back up if I could, and then I have to go back into another fight because I have to escape. I have to go to that end zone. But I think with Destiny, like what you were explaining, no one knew what the reward was. But the journey, like it seems so epic. It's like, dude, this has to be an insane reward. Like it has to be like a whole new skin. I'm gonna get a whole new character, like a whole new like body armor or something like that. And you're like, wait, I'm getting a gun that you guys already said we were gonna get in this expansion. Like this.
But
is kind of
that's fine. I'm just like the fact that I went through that is what I
yeah,
like.
You love that journey, but I think once you realize like
It's
there's
like
a
you went
reward,
through that run,
Mhm.
but you didn't get anything out of it. But you got that feel.
Exactly.
I'm like, why is it different?
Yeah, I don't get anything.
I think because of the world. I think because
There's an expectation to get something.
I think
and
it's
then-
expectation, but not only that though is when you do it, it's I don't know. I feel like I would enjoy the journey the way you did, without having to like. And even if I get that same gun, I'd be like, hell yeah, like this is still amazing. Like that was
The
fun.
fact that they made something on that
Yeah.
level to me blew my mind.
Exactly.
Because I'm like, no other company that I can think of
Yeah.
right now has made
and I would
that
appreciate
elaborate.
that.
It's like an escape room or like a community puzzle. It's like those viral kind of things where it's like get everyone involved. I'm
Yeah.
like, but like something that your thing makes like I'm watching your streams and I'm like, impressed by them and everything. But what I'm trying to understand is also these aren't challenges that the game created. These are challenges that people made.
community.
So if it's that, like, does that then open up the rewarding experience challenge feeling for you of like making your own obstacles for things to overcome, like creating challenges to then overcome them? Like, because I see that with Destiny streamers. They're like, I'm bored, and I want to learn how to solo this activity. I
All
want to learn.
sidearms only.
I want to learn how to like those mentalities is
Mhm.
where I think of with like your blood level
Giving
4
yourself a challenge.
is like creating experiences that feel challenging within the game of whatever.
Well, mine's more like a community built this elite class. So, I mean, fuck, I don't know
But,
why I'm
like,
doing the DLC.
So no,
Why
no.
am I
So
doing
no.
the
For
DLC?
instance, a community made it, so you
Right.
feel like you're being. But like, what if you made something that was harder, but there was no community focus around it, but it was harder?
No.
Would it wouldn't have the satisfaction?
I mean, I guess technically that cost one to not cheese it is the hard way. Like,
Well,
I'm
what
saying like, what
what
if you
if-
did something like those people that do them? I'm using them
Uh-huh.
as examples, but on that level, but no one else has done.
Let's
of
say-
like, I'm only using one hand.
mm.
No
Let-
one else is doing. No
Right, right,
community
right,
is
right,
doing
right.
a collection, but you did it on your own.
Mhm.
It because there's no community. It doesn't. Does that take away from that?
It doesn't take it away, but that's just I wouldn't do that.
You would find that. Okay.
No. I mean, like it's hard enough.
Okay.
Like with fucking two hands and
I thought it was easy.
the game is easy.
Yeah, I would say
On a
like
normal.
there's streamers that have like beaten Dark Souls with just using a dance pad.
Yeah.
Like there's that. Like no one's set that as like, oh, that's a goal. Like people need to meet. Like
You seen the guy
there's
with
just, like
bananas?
yeah, like they're just
No, but
like
it's
I want to
interesting-
make a challenge. The way they see it, I would assume is like I want to make a challenge so that I can have more content. But like
Yeah.
that in alone of itself is an insane achievement. Like you beat a game with bananas, bro. Like what the fuck? And I don't know.
Like with Pokemon or with these other ones, I feel like when there's a lot of. I mean, this is like any consumer. You're
Mhm.
a consumer. You want it. You want something presented in front of you
Yeah.
so you can face it.
Mhm.
You don't want to create the thing and then face it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like an easy like if there's ever the complaint, like I said with the Destiny thing or whatever, of something not feeling rewarding or not having that challenge or whatever that experience is that is enjoyable to you, and you can always create that, as many people have shown.
Mhm.
Maybe not many people, but like some people have shown that, but not many people do that. Have that same
Yeah.
mentality, and I'm like, that's what's interesting. Is like, why don't we, as consumers of these games, create like if something's not enjoyable, make it enjoyable, or find like I don't know. I mean, it's like a mentality thing. It's like I'm not having a good time. How can I make my like whatever I'm going through right now a good time or a rewarding time is what I'm trying to get at.
What-
Like, how do you turn something that isn't to something that
I
is?
think a lot of this happens though is when someone's outplayed the shit out of a game, like Bloodborne. I mean, that game has been out for how long now? Like a few years. People have beat it like left and right, and they just continue. They're like, I want to continue playing this game, but how can I make it different than before? Oh, I know. I won't level up. Oh, I know. I won't I won't dodge anymore. Like I'll just run out of the way to do that. So people have done no dodge runs essentially. Like it's just it's a challenge they want to give themselves to add more entertainment value to something that they bought.
Okay, well, let me ask you
But I
something.
think it's
then.
over time that this is created.
Right. No, I understand that. Maybe this is unique to looters.
Uh-huh.
Games where it's a loot and a grind.
Okay.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
If something like, what are some examples for you that you can think of that can hit on that, where it's like the loot, like these things aren't worth it, like the value of the thing. I don't know. Like I
think
feel like I'm
it's-
reaching for something. I can't get it.
It's tough because, like with World of Warcraft, the only reason I ever got into it is because at some point in time they started adding achievements. They added ways for people to know you've done something insane. Like one of my biggest things was I fished like a .001 fish out of an opposing faction's hometown. I literally had to run into their town, get murdered every time I got up, find a zone where I could just like none of their NPCs would see me, no other players would hopefully see me and murder me, and I would have to stay there and fish for a very long time. I finally found this. I finally caught this fish. I get like this achievement. I'm like, fuck yeah! And eventually, like friends told me like, hey, we're on the opposite sides faction. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pay money to switch factions. When I did that, my achievement stayed on that side's thing. So it says like I was alliance. I caught a horde fish. When I changed to the horde, you're like, you're a horde. You caught a horde fish. I was like, I literally did it the hardest way, and then switched factions to show that that I didn't do it the hardest way. Like, oh, I fucked this up for myself, and I never did the opposite factions. From that point, I didn't do a horde catching an alliance fish at that point, because I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever done, and no one's gonna believe me now. So like in that sense, like that
Unless
reward,
you recorded it or streamed it.
so and I didn't do that because at the time, I mean, that wasn't like a thing. But so that reward for me like was great when I got it, and then I diminished its value for myself because I switched
you can't
that and
switch
no
it
one,
back.
Well, I mean, I could technically, and I guess the achievement would say there, but I mean, it wasn't.
Oprah.
It wasn't like that. I would rather play with my friends than have this stupid ass achievement. But like the achievement itself devalued it for me because of the way that worked. But like there are crazy things.
But
that
see,
you can do.
okay, here maybe we're catching something here.
Okay.
Why is it diminished? Why is that? Even though you went through that experience,
I think it's diminished because now I can't. Other people won't believe me. Like,
See, I don't think it's diminished because you can switch it back. If you can't switch it back,
well, like
then it's
while
diminished.
while I am that same faction, if you were in the game and I'm like, dude, I caught this fish, you're like, yeah, but you're that same character. Like,
So-
you can just fish in your own
no.
town.
But
You
what
don't
I'm
have
saying
anything
is
to worry
like the
about.
action wasn't the rewarding thing. It's the recognition for the
But
action.
I don't get the recognition anymore.
Right.
now
No,
that I
that's what I'm
switched.
saying. It's
Yeah.
not the action that was for you the accomplishment. Like
Yeah.
doing it.
For-
If no one's gonna know that you did it, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Is
For
it-
that instance, I knew that I was doing something terrible for an accomplishment, for like the reward essentially. But it's because I knew what I was doing. Like I was doing something knowing I'm gonna get an award that I want. Where like when I'm doing Tarkov, I'm not playing the game for the reward. I'm playing it for the journey and the achievement of knowing that I've done this. Because no one's gonna know I've done this. Like there's no like an achievement like, hey, you did 2 raids back to back without dying. Like no one knows that. But like I get that accomplishment. I'm like, dude, I know that I'm getting better at this game. And I guess it'll show through the way that I play. Like I'm going to be a better player than another player who hasn't done this. I think that's where I get that sense of feeling. But that one feels like it's more I'm enjoying the journey. Where like with the World of Warcraft thing, I was enjoying, or I knew I would enjoy the reward once I got it. And then I ruined the reward once I fucking fished it. But like, so I guess depending on the game. And I think with Destiny is a game where people know that there's rewards. Like whenever I do anything, if I do a raid, I'm getting a reward. If I do this, I'm getting a reward. So I think when they saw something this epic, this like something that required so many people to be together and do all this crazy thing, and all of a sudden you're like, here's a gun that we told you you'd get. It's like, well, I know that we did this crazy thing and it was really cool, but I wanted something special to signify this, not something you told me I would already get. And I think that's where that happened with Destiny specifically. But I think I would have enjoyed the reward, the journey there.
So I have another question though.
Okay.
I think I know the answer to this, but I want to know how you guys feel. So certain things in Destiny, I'm going to use it again as an example, but it's relatable. In competitive world, you get rewards for getting for like having won so much.
Mm-hmm.
If you've gone flawless in trials, that means you win 7 games consecutively with no losses, and they get harder and harder. If you play competitively and you reach a certain rank, you get a certain reward. But then, later on in the game, it gets patched, it gets updates. They make the process in getting those accomplishments easier. Does that diminish your accomplishment?
I would feel like it does. Because I think it's similar to like my World of Warcraft thing where I've switched it over and diminished my own reward.
There's an example I have. I can't remember, but something like that has happened where they made it easier, and I'm just like, oh.
Well, I would say similar to like your Metal Gear. I mean, they didn't make it easier, but like before you would physically like, hey, I did this already, and they're like, hey.
Well,
like,
that's just showing it. I'm just saying like you get to the same point, but you can get there in a much faster way, like because they made everything one hit or something. Like I think that's the difference between the thing. to me, I can see that. Like, I worked hard for this. I earned this accolade, and I want that to remain difficult.
Yeah.
and
I mean,
challenging.
you could always say like, yeah, I did it pre-patch.
Yeah,
Like,
but like I feel like like how you were saying with Tarkov, you feel you've gotten better. That was also a rewarding feeling. Like having that knowledge that when did you get it? Oh, then, okay. I still don't know if you're as good as like where I am.
Yeah.
I don't know, like that sort of stuff.
I think it's hard to say. Like with Tarkov, it's an online game, so I know when I'm playing other people.
Right.
Like so, there is a skill differentiation, and it'll show by who the winner is within
Right.
the last man standing. With like an achievement pre-patch type thing, if it's a single player, like there's no way to really know.
No, there is. I mean, like if a game gets
Yeah.
patched where it's like you can now cheese a boss,
Yeah.
and most people, like for instance, Destiny, and
Or
again,
backwards.
huh?
Sometimes it's the cheese was there and then they patched it and now
It's
after
harder.
It's harder.
Yeah. Well, that was what I was gonna say is there's emblems, and the emblems signify if you've done things on hard modes and not. And people, like before they get patched, they would cheese it or
Mhm.
Something. So it's like you might have the emblem, but 90% of people cheesed it.
Huh.
Is it as rewarding as someone who did it? Like if you were the one cheesing it, do you feel it's as high a value as the person that did it like legit, like you did the orphan one? Would you have felt the same value of beating him for yourself, for like the
oh
reward?
yeah, for myself, yeah.
But like you were like you're now holding it where I beat him and I didn't cheese it. Like that is an
Yes.
accomplishment
Yes.
for you.
Yes.
So you hold it a little higher.
What if
Of course.
like I beat him? I don't ever say I cheesed him, but I did cheese him. I'm like, oh, I beat Cause 2 at level 4.
Yeah, that's lying.
Not
I mean,
the same.
I'm withholding the truth.
Not the same.
Okay. I don't know. It's just an observation. I was trying to figure out because some aspects of it make sense to me. Some aspects of it, I was like, I still had a good time. And I guess each person
Yeah.
and each game and each thing, it's like a little different.
For me,
but
it is a mentality though. Like if I'm doing something, knowing the reward, I'll be fine with it. Like if I did if I did an achievement pre-patch while it was the hardest thing you could possibly do, I'd be like, hell yeah, that achievement and like my thought of it would be diminished once there's a patch to it to make it easier. Like, hey, there was a glitch that actually made it harder, and now we're patching this, so it's going to be as intended, and the difference is like, extremely huge. I can just do this like with my blinded now, or blindfolded, and then. But if I were to do the achievement after this event, knowing like, hey, it's easier now, but I still get the same like rewards, I'll be like, oh, cool, I'm gonna do it. But I won't have the same sense of accomplishment as I did before that. But I would be okay with it, knowing like it's already there, and I knew what I was doing. I knew that it was gonna be easier anyways.
Okay.
But if I did it beforehand and then they patched it, I would no longer hold that achievement to its standard because I was like, now no one knows that I did it this way, or now it's not like that anymore. So everyone who does it, it's not the same kind of thing. And it's just mentality. It's how I go into it. If I know it one way or I know it the other way, then I'll enjoy or not enjoy the reward.
Thank you guys. Shared some perspectives. I was curious. I was wondering what you guys thought because I know you guys have your own achievements that you've done, like Uncharted, your 100%, your trophies, and all that stuff. So I was very curious. So thank you. That's my topic. Where can people find you guys?
On the journey at the Folio 365 on Instagram or the Folio anywhere else.
DreamHack, February 21st to the 23rd. You'll see them. One on Friday, one on Saturday.
Dang.
Voldemort, baby.
I don't know. It's
This
Sunday.
guy-
Are you going Sunday
Yeah,
too?
I'll go Sunday too. This
Yeah.
guy's pro.
Friday. So Friday is the night of the concert.
There's
I don't
a
know
concert?
if you're. There's always a concert there.
We'll see.
Okay. Well,
Friday night.
at the Last Bosses, Saturday, the 22nd, my anniversary of streaming. I would 10 to 12:30.
At
Please
the Last Boss.
watch at the Last Bosses.
You can find me at Kuja Prime. You can find us all at the Weekly DLC. And until next time, well.
DLC.
You later.